Guess what? If the sky could mimic how I feel inside, that's what we're talking about. That type of beauty. That's how this guy feels on the inside, having completed day number 3 of my healing course, doing breath work. Man, just breathing. Could you imagine if you could feel that good on the inside just from breathing? Right? Start releasing some of the blocks that you have, energetically speaking, inside of your body, inside of your mind, inside of your heart, inside of your soul. Man, I've had some of the most incredible experiences the past 3 days, and I absolutely feel like that on the inside of me. It's incredible. It's incredible, and I'm so looking forward to the time after this week when I'm able to sort of tinker through figuring out how to help many, many others, maybe you, to go through your own healing process. And yet, I've been getting on here for some time now, right? Starting results kill excuses as a mantra to hold myself accountable, knowing that I was full of excuses and I was lacking on results, especially when it comes to trusting myself. And the thing that I couldn't trust about myself is that I was an emotionally wounded man. I was emotionally traumatized, and I was holding on to, the victimization of, having a dad that was abusive as a kid and then abandoned the family, and my mom had to struggle to get by, and just feeling that sense of either I've been abandoned, I'm not good enough to be loved, something's wrong with me. And man, I carried around that for so many years, right? And I'm somebody that knows, as a man, I had mother wounds, I had daddy wounds, I had mommy wounds and daddy wounds. Can you relate to that? Or are you too tough for that? Are you just trying to ignore what's really going on underneath the surface, or act as if that shit don't matter? And it's like, it absolutely matters. Of course it matters. The experiences that you have had, especially as a child, and especially the way that you felt as a child, whether you were abused, neglected, right, and anything in between, it absolutely matters. And it shows up in your life, it shows up in your relationships, it shows up with your image of self, how you talk to yourself internally, mentally, emotionally, right? And yet, I think a lot of us, myself included, when I was in that wounded state, guess what? I was still writing a story to myself that, it's fine, man, I'm good, right? That shit happened a long time ago. Why does it don't matter now? And it's like, yes, it does. Because I can tell you that the most painful experiences that I've had in relationship, right? It all goes back to the connection I had with my mom, right? That I was bringing unresolved childhood trauma into a relationship with a grown-ass woman. I'm a grown-ass man, but yet both of us are wounded. The little inner children inside of us are wounded, and we're projecting on each other. And then, and it's like, the saddest thing is that I believe that we do call in these relationships and these connections in order to bring that stuff to the surface. And a lot of times it only makes our mental and emotional state of being even worse, even our physical and our spiritual, all of them. It actually makes them worse because we feel like what's wrong with us? I'm a failure, right? Why do I keep attracting this type of people? And it's like, yeah, ask yourself that. Why do you keep attracting that kind of people, right? It's not about picking different types. It's about becoming different, putting in the work to heal yourself so that like attracts like. You can start healing. The healed version of you can attract the healed version of that person that you loved so much, that broke your heart, that betrayed you, that cheated on you, that abused you, whatever it is, whatever stories you're writing to yourself, in order to heal that, you have to become what you don't want. You can't look to someone else and say, you know what, I'm good. If you're someone that's sitting there saying, I'm good, I just don't understand why the people I attract are not. And it's like, time out, time out. There's something to look at. There's always something to look at, that what you see in someone else, it exists in you. And that can probably stop most people in their tracks, because you're like, nope, no, I'm not a fill in the blank. And it's like, are you sure? You promise? Are you sure you're sure? Are you being honest with yourself? Because if like attracts like, right, that means that it's in you. If it's triggering you, if it's showing up in your life, guess what? It's in you. And the same is true, just like if you were to heal these things, right? If you were to heal these things, guess what? You would attract in more healed people. But if you don't do any work, I mean, comment down below if you're saying, if you're somebody that's been like, yeah, I've been through all kinds of emotional stuff, I've never worked on my stuff, but I'm now in the most healthiest relationship I've ever been in, right? If that's your experience, like how did that happen? How did it happen that you went from being in terrible relationships to now you've never done any work, right? And you're just being accepted for who you are, just left alone, and the wounds that you have are the wounds that you have, and you've now just found somebody that's compatible with accepting those wounds, as if, you know, like has to attract like. So they're either faking it or you're faking it. And it's probably both, right? It's probably both. And yet, love is such an intoxicating thing. Connection, relationships is so intoxicating that if you're anything like me, what finally really broke me down is like, I was tired of abandoning myself for acceptance. Do you understand what that means? Like literally sacrificing myself, because I was responsible for someone else's happiness. Like if someone's not happy, meaning a woman, it's my fault and I'm not doing something right. I'm not showing up for that person. And it's like, dude, that's major projection. Because if someone wants to feel safe and secure, yeah, as a man that was wounded, I absolutely was incapable of providing that. But yet, I clearly attracted a woman that wanted something that she didn't know how to give herself. And so now that I can provide emotional safety, emotional security, have conversations, not lose my shit and cause more harm, guess what? I'm attracting women that have also done that emotional work, right? And even if, you know, the work I've done is maybe a little more than the work that they've done, by me being able to now hold that space, that's going to give them the confidence and the clarity to be able to put in even more work to get to my level, or vice versa. And that's really the interesting thing about this whole experience, is that you have everything that you need, everything that you've ever wanted, everything that you've ever needed, everything you've always wished you had. It's inside of you. You just don't. You've spent so much time outside of you. If you're anything like me, I used to be so externalized, focused on everything else around me, that I didn't really put in deep internal work. And when I did, it was always about the guilt, the shame, the anger, the frustration over the behaviors and the patterns that I didn't know how to stop. And that's what really stimulated me to start my healing journey, is I wanted to trust myself. And I now have found a way to do that. And it's not just through the breath work. The breath work has taken me to a whole nother level. We're still doing, right, the self-discovery work on the app. We're still doing the 1% Better Everyday Journal. Journaling is, all of this stuff is still a part of my daily practice. But the breath work is just like the conduit to truly help you to spiritually open up and unlock all of the emotional tension and blockages that you have inside your body. Because if you don't know how trauma works, is if you have experienced trauma happens from the outside, and yet you hold on to that wound on the inside. And yet trauma is only seen in how you behave, how you react. You can see the signs and symptoms of somebody that has unhealed trauma, especially when they're triggered. And yet, are we truly our trauma? Do you truly identify with your trauma? Is that who you are, or are you something more? And that's the question. If you answer the question that you're your trauma, well, then keep being your trauma. But if you're someone that's like, I don't want to be my trauma anymore, I want to be something more, that's what I wanted. I had to learn how to heal, and I had to learn how to release, and I had to learn how to forgive, and I've had to learn how to go back in and reprogram all of my limiting beliefs. And yet, the breath work has been probably the most transformational. It's been the most potent practice to really bring everything else that I've been working on together. And I'm excited to be able to share that with many of you that are ready to start putting in that work too. It's incredible. It's incredible work, right? And it excites me that I'm going through deeper levels of healing right now. And I'm feeling more freer, I'm feeling more happier, I'm feeling more vibrant, I'm feeling more connected, I'm feeling more accepted than I have really ever. And yet, now that I am experiencing this, guess what? I can share it. It's a gift that I can share. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with those of you that are ready. Beyond that, I just ask that you learn how to love yourself, right? If you're not loving yourself, love yourself. Be kind, right? There's enough pressure out there. There's enough negativity out there. Check the negativity in your head, right? You don't have to be your own worst enemy. Be your best friend, right? Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And if you're questioning how to do that, maybe you do need to reach out. I'm here for you. Greg, Greg, at resultskillexcuses.com. I love you guys. I'm sending you love. The videos are they're coming in a little different right now. Clearly I'm changing. I know that if you're someone that's been listening, you're probably hearing a different song right now coming from me. But I'm on a real regimen for at least the next, 5 more days. From 8 to 5, it's been intense. It's been an intense process. It's been a powerful process. One that when you make investments in things, there's sometimes where you invest, you have to pay for something, and you kind of feel like, I don't know if I got my money's worth. I got my money's worth, which was a lot. You're talking 5 figures, mid 5 figures. I felt like I had my money's worth on day one. So right now, the rest of this experience, it's just cream, man. It's cream. Because I don't put a price on my healing, right? On real healing, real authentic shit, man. Just breathing and experiencing what we've been experiencing. You don't put a price on that, because I know that that's going to set me up and those around me for generations to come. Join me. Join me in this journey if you're hearing this message. I love you guys. I care so much about you. And I'm looking forward to being able to share even more with you on the other side starting in April. Stay tuned. Stay locked in. Keep going. Don't give up. Now's your time. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. We'll see you on the next one. Greg's out.